I got it.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 6:32. Everybody's here with the exception of William, Adam Beck. And we will start then with the minutes of the last meeting, the April minutes. Did anyone have any corrections to those minutes? We did find one that I had found a couple that I sent to Sarah, but we didn't think of this one. So under policies and procedures, she had again noted the proposed updates to the employee handbook, and those have actually been handled and voted on the month before. So they were inadvertently put on the agenda. So I think she saw it on the agenda and added it again, but that transpired in March. Okay, so I will we'll have that noted in these minutes. Okay, and we'll have it stricken from the record. No,
you just say that the minutes as corrected. You ask for a motion to pass the minutes as corrected.
We have a motion to pass the minutes as corrected. I'll make that. Terry will make a motion and Dina will second it. Okay, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, so moved. Okay, then we'll have to present these motion. Yes.
Yes. Can you repeat that, please?
Very first. Sorry.
Very first.
And we'll move on to the treasurer's report. That was sent out a couple days ago.
Everybody is still getting the report. Yes. Okay. Anybody have any questions on it? So we'll spend time.
I already spoke to one.
Meeting.
But what was the
question?
Yeah, what was the question? So the rest of my.
I just didn't see where dynamic was. Something that looks like key sellers. But we're holding on to it. So
Oh, okay.
dynamic
All right.
energy is our solar.
Right. I thought it would be listed separate, but it's in the dash. Gotcha.
But it's under utility.
Yeah, the utilities,
But
right.
if you look on the vendor summary,
Right.
The one question I had during the week, I asked her about the auto part of the insurance, because I said, we don't really have a car, do we? But we are covered when we are doing library business in our own car. So like Megan and those of us who went to dinner the other night, God forbid something would happen, and we do have some auto insurance in that insurance.
yeah, it's the liability, it's the library's liability portion of the same driving their car to a sanctioned liability.
Okay, so let's put that there.
To count as like the library open as well. I mean, that's coming to work. It wouldn't cover if something happened to me on my way to work.
No, that's good.
That's your own. Right. Yes, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to the director's report. Megan, you have the floor.
Nothing big, nothing. The book club actually met last night. There were 7 of us. Nobody really liked the book. Well, they kind of, like some people, but you did like it a lot. Somebody else said they liked it, but then, I don't know, it doesn't, but there was a woman who came, she was new, and she took over the meeting. Which was a little frustrating, so I think everybody kind of stopped. The next meeting will be June 18th, and we're reading. Remember what it was?
No.
Good Neighbors by Sarah Langen.
So 7 people you said came to the book club?
Yes.
Okay. I also noticed, Megan, you left out coffee hour.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And we
Yes.
had 11 people at that. So we're trying to keep track of everybody. So
Those 3 board members, but not too bad, we can. One way or
So technically trustees and employees.
another.
And the number that we do, that I give to the state for programming, we're not allowed to count the people that, some employees or staff.
So we had 8 people.
And it was just a mistake.
Okay.
I've taken
Yeah, I
over
know.
board and add to it.
I figured you did, so we wanted to put all the activity.
How about the other event that we had? We had one other event.
Here. Oh, the South Africa.
South Africa.
It
Oh.
was so good, but after the last. Oh, Michelle, what was the program? Oh, it was the place names. I was talking with Will because the quality of the projector and the screen are, I think the projector is probably 10 years old. Where I was sitting the other night for that program, I could see the photographs on the man's laptop. Oh, and it was incredible, and it just wasn't going to the screen. And it was faded looking, not bright at all. So I've spoken to Jane about it and how we could possibly look for a grant
Yeah.
to.
You're out of our microphones.
They did.
Possibly outputs.
If we got,
Oh, might be.
We could actually- right, like just to expand on the grant we already got from them
Mhm.
to get a new projector. The other thought I had was possibly, at some point we decided to redo the display case. You could have a smart TV on the back of them, like a large screen TV could go on the back of the display case. So you could just open the doors to show a movie, to show, to have something, or have a screen that's mounted to the ceiling that drops down.
I think that makes sense, yeah.
Um,
This way we don't lose one of the.
Right.
Yeah, and they're nice too, they do have a nice picture.
I know that-
These have those nice screens that just pull right up.
I have one, but it's old. So when they show you can see the lines in the screen that are coming through. It just, if someone has spent a lot of time and money on doing a really nice, this guy's got over 1,000 followers on YouTube. And his logo is so cool. It's called Fisher Films, FISCHER, but it's in a fish. But it was very interesting. They talked a lot about the other trips that they've taken. They've been to Australia. They did one where they went from New Zealand to Fiji to American Samoa to Hawaii. And each one they do some type of biking or something. They just decided they're not going to spend winters here, but they don't want to just go.
How many people came?
There were 8, not counting me.
Did I miss the social media or Sarah just?
Sarah didn't have one.
Okay, that's right.
She was going to show me how she does it, and then she had to go. So I looked and I couldn't get a question.
But you could always, did you put 2 months into one for next month?
She can.
That'd be fine. So could I have a motion to accept the director's report? Just you. And second by Jay. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, so moved. Okay, we're going to move on to the committee report. There was no executive committee meetings. Under financial, Michelle.
I'm not sure who's in charge of the finance committee, so the finance committee did not meet. But I know you've got the appeal letter listed, and that was, I put that in the treasurer's report to see where we are. We continue to get checks and then marked with the appeal, so, at this point, we're short $3,300, and that's $56. So we'll see. What happens. I'm sure. It becomes 32, 2097. And because a couple times, like this time of year, if there were corporate matches, sometimes they come in a little bit later, depending on the
Okay, Megan and I did reach out to Cowbell and we did have them fill out. Or we filled it out on page 4, not we, Megan did, filled it out and sent it in and he sent us back a quote.
Yes,
Did you print that out?
I did.
Okay. I did not get a chance to look at it and compare it to the quote that we already have.
Have that for you too. I did, I spoke to Michelle Largito, who is the head of, she's the head of the IT at Sal's. And she or Chris Mundell, both were, he got a, things at a meeting. Either one of them will come up here to talk to us about cybersecurity. But in the meantime, they had sent these, which is just information about why you need it or what you need that they got from their insurance company, who turns out to be the same as ours.
Is that,
There's enough for everybody.
oh, okay.
So the quote from Cowbell is $1,604. And the quote from through Upstate is $1,802.50.
You're relatively close.
And they Upstate? South. Yeah. I think they just have a different things.
So Megan, did they give us any indication of when they would be able to come up? Like, did they want to come up when we have a meeting, or do they want to come up? And well,
She didn't give me any. She just said that they could certainly that,
On the Cowbell one, did they give you what the deductible was?
$1,000.
Well, that's a lot better than $5,000. But is that total, like you can have multiple occurrences?
So we're probably gonna need to study it really side by side with the other one. And that's, yeah, that's just one thing. We don't all get, everybody take one page.
And then this is, Linda, this is the Upstate one. Do you want me to pass that down to you, or do you have one?
I have one. Somewhere.
Okay.
But we should probably make a copy of that, so maybe Michelle might have a copy of it.
Okay. You'll be
Before we
free.
leave. And if everybody can kind of look over this cyber liability, and then we could come to the next meet, by the next meeting, maybe have an idea. If we have any questions, then we'll have those people come. If it seems clear to us.
So then my suggestion is so that they have time to get it on their calendar. I'm going to push you to make sure you get your homework done, but if you guys could get it done like in the next week or so, look it over and see if you have questions. Then that gives them time to put it on our calendar.
Because if it, if what we've been reading and stuff becomes like it's a little more straightforward. I wouldn't want them to come unless we have questions.
Right.
In other words.
And just let you know, once we
Yes.
reviewed it.
Yep, that's fine. They both Chris and Michelle live in the Saratoga, Folsom Spot area, so it's not that hard for them to come up here, but it might, anyway, just to get some enough time.
Okay, policies and procedures with tabling the inclement weather policy until we have to deal with inclement weather. Oh, I'm sorry, no, but finance system, that was the only other thing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure. I know we discussed it before.
Yeah, no, it's print.
So the case is still strong. We can't legally say we're a women's center, is that what it was? I was trying to remember.
Yeah, we can't, we're not a designated.
Right,
voting
okay,
center,
it's not official, but.
but we can try to open it.
Yeah, we're on.
Yes.
We're making coffee.
Yes.
I'm not making coffee.
Okay.
So,
We have cups.
I'm not making coffee.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can be nice to people. I don't want my coffee.
Maybe we can get people.
I just, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, we'll get it.
You just You just didn't call yourself a warming center. You just, what you're basically saying, telling the community is that we're going to be here. But if you, I think that there are things that you have to offer if you call yourself a
Right,
warming
right,
center.
right. That's my thought. I just was trying to remember. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Long range planning, they have some information for us.
Yes, we went over what surveys we got. We got 6 surveys. So we were short a couple. But basically, I'm gonna try and keep it short because we kind of had a lot of information. The things that we do well, that we're so proud of, the building stood out, the whiteness of the building, the way it's being kept and everything is, the whole grounds, buildings and grounds, wonderful. I'll get to the recommendations, but, anyway, the improvements, we just to be continue, updating everything, not only our books and our movies or whatever, but also just, again, the buildings and grounds, just keep everything going. The next one. Okay, and then, what could we do better? So we really talked about this one for a while. We're doing great in a lot of areas, but things that we felt that we could improve upon would be to expand the outside, possibly a deck, so we could do some outdoor programming. The programs that we have are great. We'd like to expand and bring back a program that maybe we thought might be best, so that we get some different ideas and programming for other people. We talked about, and I know Sarah's talked about this too, but other people have too, for either adults or teens, writing workshop, to try and get someone who's interested in that and who has some kind of skill to help get that started. Okay. Again, we talked about, the one thing was that we noticed on the town board minutes, they do post library and no one's been attending. We should have somebody attend. It puts right in the minutes, library not available. Yeah. So that's something to look into, how that's going to be arranged to work out.
That's odd.
Where can you get your report? You send it to him?
Yes.
So is he supposed to be the
He's
one
the
reporting?
He is our liaison.
So if he had gotten the report.
He's on the list of trustees. So it's this email.
Yeah, I knew he was our contact. I didn't know he would give a report. I didn't know if he would.
He gets the minutes, he gets the agenda, everything that you guys get, he gets, and so does Sue Wilson, even though she's no longer the liaison. So that they have library information out there.
Okay, yeah, they don't put it in the minutes.
They don't put it in the minutes, so
So Kate just keeps, the person takes the minutes and she just keeps things from them, I'm guessing.
You could also just send it as correspondence, and then it would be added to the meeting.
I can do that.
But I can at least put minutes and report received.
I kind of think the director's report and the social media are things, but I think they need sort of interpretation. It's not, I don't necessarily know if they read that or if they looked at it, like how many people came.
It's expanding the kids programs, keeping that going over the summer, which I do know we are with the English and so on. And then, but like in April when it's poetry month, maybe take half of the bookcase and dedicated to poetry since it's literature. That kind of. Was there something else that I'm missing in my notes? That was it.
So,
But kudos, I have to say, I just want to say, I mean, the authors that we're getting, which I like Rex too, they're awesome.
Mhm.
Some of the authors that are lined up to come, are great. I don't know how you did it.
will this be put in writing form and added to our long range plan? Is that what?
No. Our long range plan will be once we investigate this and then
Okay,
come up with like a strategic plan or
Okay.
whatever.
We're gonna hopefully add a strategic plan.
okay, so there's
Yes.
some helping.
We're just getting off the ground. And the only other thing we did want to say was we would like input from you and Sarah and you. So to bring up and Carla, because she's been a long time. Yeah, I know, yeah, but we talked about that at the meeting. Just because I think that's important, you're here day to day, Sarah's here for the survey, to have you, Sarah, Michelle, and you mentioned Carla,
Yeah.
since she's been here a long time, also for the survey.
Yeah.
What you think is needed.
There was a point to the display being what it is for April. And I'm not arguing with you that I couldn't do a poetry one, but last fall, someone asked me if they could have it because it was the anniversary, the 250th anniversary.
Oh, yeah, no.
So
I
that's
think
the
this
point
is
of why
great.
that's
I'm just
raised.
saying, yeah,
So
we're just saying, as an
right.
example, something, if it is a month recognition, has something to do with what it is, we could push that. And I'm not saying
And
the whole display, and that's
And I
just my
can-
idea, I'm not saying that you have to do
So
it.
the display case said,
Okay. Well, and then we are going to meet, just so you know, we will meet again for the next meeting. We're going to take our long range plan that's posted and really try and look at it and just take a good look at it and see what can be expanded on or what's already being done. So,
Great. Thank you very much. All right, fundraising. So, the bags. We did that?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Yeah, okay. I'll move down to the plant sale.
I'm good, actually.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so we received the bags, I had to contact the company because unfortunately the bag, the print that they originally sent us, which was lovely and I thought very nicely done, when the bags came in, the black print was more like a gray instead of a black. And so where it says, Bolton Free Library, it's black and then the free is green and then the library is also black, but so it's gray, green and gray and the word free pops out. So and I'm not exactly sure why, because we talked about a bunch of different types of printing and they assured me that the printing that they were doing was going to be exactly what the sample that we paid for them to produce would look like. So I'm in negotiations with them. I'm not sure where hopefully we're gonna end up in a place, but I don't have any answers right now. So, and I didn't bring them with me because it just is exactly that. It's black and it's gray. So
That's a shame.
yeah, it was frustrating. Yes. Yes. So I will keep everyone.
Thank you. Sorry that happened.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too, because they were actually, it was quite nice.
Yeah, we talked about it to the friends group and everybody's kind of excited about seeing when they come in.
Well, they probably a feeling. I'm sure.
Especially if they are.
Yes.
They just give them to us and
Yes.
we print them.
Yeah.
But we shall see. They're in the process now of telling me what their policies and whatnot, so.
Too long?
Yeah, explain. The other thing too was for the future, I'm sorry, I forgot this, because I didn't write it down, was just the fiscal sustainability of the library, going through 520.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
So, sorry, everyone, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So we have an attorney.
Yes, I thought.
I've got my claws into him already.
All right, plant sale. So Carla has a lot of help. She seems to think that she's okay with who she has, so everybody that can come down, buy some plants. Although she did say she might be able to use someone in the afternoon. I think it goes 9 to 3, and she wondered if there was somebody available to come from like 12 till 3. She could use the help in the second part of the day, so she could let Jane go home. So if anybody is interested, let me know and I will pass that on to her. Jane, called. And then the Friends group, we were very, very pleased with the turnout to the Friends group. We had 19 people there. That was including us. So there were 3 of us, so that's still 15 people that came, 16, and,
Math is not nice.
I didn't have, and I didn't have flip flops, so my toes are showing. So, they're pretty excited, I think, about helping, and we did get some signups. But there were also many people who emailed us that couldn't make it that night that are planning on helping this summer. So behind the desk, Megan has all the signups for all of our events. We ask for people to come during the programs to help set up and break down. We have sign up for the farmer's market, and we have signups for the book sale. Okay, and then we also kind of put it out to them too, if they wanted to think of any other activities, you know, to come to us, and we would help them put it together. So this is our first step, and I know summer's really busy, and we're hoping though to get a sort of cohesive group of volunteers, and then in the fall sort of shape them into maybe a more formal group and have maybe a couple meetings then. But some people do have some ideas.
Yeah, yes, so they're mostly full-time residents or summer people?
A lot of summer people.
We got to come up with a letter.
Well, we're trying to get all of them to register on that Google form that we have. But a lot of people registered, but when we said whether they're put like the other things that they were supposed to check, they didn't check them. And they just said, I'll help with anything. And they didn't all put whether they were full-time or part-time. But that is a good question. But I would have to say at least half of them are. I mean, just anecdotally, yeah.
Megan, I'm sorry, how much before like the author visit do you need people help set up? Like, what time do you want them here, like a half hour before? Or
So, you mean for the children's, the book fair, or just the evening?
No, just like the author's coming up, like if you need help. setting
Probably
up.
if someone could be here like at 5 o'clock. I think all the programs are starting at 6:30, so an hour. Probably the author's gonna be here by 6 at the latest, I think. Some authors come sooner. Like the Patrice program that we have, she usually comes in about 4:30, 4:45. I would say by 5:30, if someone wants to be here to help us set up, that'd be great.
We'll just say this so people reach out.
But one of the things that we really stress to them more than anything is that our programs are not as well attended as they should be for the quality of speaker that we're having. And because I'm thinking that guy that came and set up and he only had 8 people come. I'm sure he was still happy with that, but I would think they'd be even happier if 20 people were there, you know. And so we asked the friends to tell their friends and really mention it at all the parties they go to and events and things like that to get them, you know, more well attended. And if anybody else can think of any ideas too, we are going to make a list of the events, and one of the gals is going to take them to all the, you know, to the post office and all the public different areas where they have, where they have the bank, the laundromat, all the. Yeah, there are a lot of places that we can hang it up, I think, and make it
Exactly.
work.
Like in schools, if it's program during school.
Yeah, that's a good thing too, maybe build the teachers, and some of the teachers would do that for us, so. Okay, good, so that's fundraising, that's a lot. Buildings and grounds, that's Karen Rob. I said to Carla, if you can't get a hold of him, then, you know, about cutting it down, let's just get rid of it, because at this point, it's really it's a trip hazard back there, sitting the way it is. So, and now I'm gonna be gone for a week, so, but the minute I come back, it's still there, I guess we'll just find, does anybody want it? Does anybody have a place to put it
Could
around?
Baby use it in that building?
No, I did ask her, and
You
she
did
said
ask
no,
her?
because she doesn't want to vacuum.
And somebody, did some installation somewhere. I don't think it's not the people that did this, I don't think.
I mean, you could just, if you know what you wanted to cut down by time, there's a couple places that I can't think of them all top of my head, but you could just cut it down.
Yeah.
It has to be,
Although-
you would have to
Yeah,
find it too.
right.
I mean, I don't know how much it would cost, but to have it done, but, I mean, if somebody finds that out, we have a truck, we could take it somewhere. Then we could still do that.
This is part of buildings and grounds, but, at some point, we need to look at the chairs that are in the back room. It's been 20 years for some of them since the last time they were reupholstered. And one especially, you can tell it's getting very frayed looking. So that's gonna be an issue, is finding someone who does reupholstery. And I know where there's one, but it took me 3 years to do a chair.
Yeah.
What do you maybe that cool? White button in the day. These were,
Oh, yeah.
it would definitely be cheaper, yes, but one of, like, one of the chairs was given in memory of somebody. And the other two are really valuable.
Which one of these were your post
Pinkish,
the
yes.
ones that the pink and.
Can any of
Go
them
ahead.
be reupholstered with the ones that are already made that you just kind of slip on?
I don't know.
They're attached, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are attached? They're, you didn't take a look at them. Other than that, is there anything else with buildings and grounds? Other than we did get the windows washed. Thanks to that. Thanks to, Pete and Tim and Lynn and I, we washed all the windows on Monday. And we power washed the side railing in the front area, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the post office now.
Oh,
isn't that awful?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
I hope we got everything put back where we moved it as we were.
I didn't see anything on the place, and I would find. it.
Except we did use some of your paper towels because we.
Oh, that's why it was in a weird place.
That was the paper.
Did you
towel.
find some? You gave me a roll, right? Somebody came up and they handed me a roll of paper towels and they said, "We found this."
Oh, yeah, we probably.
I don't know how it got there.
Which, by the way, all these windows can be washed, they come in. So there really was no need to give them any ladders at all. So, because that was one of our main concerns, that shouldn't be on ladders, but, I mean, they're not, these are all easy to come in, some of them are not easy to pull in, but, yeah. All right, book sale, anything new there?
Yourself coming in.
Yes.
But what was nice is the guy from New Hampshire,
Yes.
and he brought in books and they were all labeled each box. This is not, this is dark.
Oh,
wow. And a lot of the books. Spring Fairies has a lot of little books that I'm super fan. So we all got my book boxes lined up there.
There's more, and there's more coming.
Is there? I did want to let you know, and someone may have talked to you already about this, but somebody's doing a wedding that their theme is going to be academia. So they want 3 old books for each table. So she's willing to buy probably, if she's having, I'm going to say 10 to 20 tables. So she's, although anything that looks old and dated.
There's a lot up there.
Yeah. That, yes,
Yeah.
but
that
she-
one's also.
yes. Her name is Carla.
Okay.
And
And
her
we-
last name, but
I guess like Michelle, usually are the signs and everything up like that, you know, where we like to put in the post office.
book sale.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far out. because then you'll
Right.
never forget about it.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
Mid-June.
And we also do the sign that.
Yes. Academia.
Mary was talking, Dina.
So you have a sign.
Mary was talking.
No, no, all I wanted to finish is, we have another, sign that, like, weighs the $10 for teachers, so I take that to different schools. Oh, and that was
We're
great.
so excited about that.
North Warren, and you might have a former student teacher there, Queensbury, so they could, before the school year ends, they could actually and then announce it.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's the
Just
early,
like a,
the early
Preview
Thursday.
night.
Yeah, Thursday night.
there's just boys and school was really
Oh,
excited
yeah,
about it.
Good, good, exciting.
And the only other place, I know it was in all the information that was upstairs, was to get it in that Big George magazine. Because that would, with the next couple.
Like
No,
to
no,
advertise
I think that
it.
one, yeah, they have a
Oh,
calendar in
that
the
one
back.
comes out.
Yeah,
okay.
if you just, they just,
Yeah.
if you just call them up. and
Steve
say-
Lorenzo is on.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay. Last one.
It's really the big-
No, it was. Yeah, I did.
And it's, nobody talking, who calls Stevie? Stevie doing
Where they come?
Steve. Oh,
Fireman Lorenzo.
But then give it to them, then it's,
Okay.
they'll have it. It's not-
And it's
What's
good
the
that
context?
it's toward the end of the month, because by the time you get that magazine.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not-
I think it's in the front.
It's in the, okay, I got one.
Sharon,
Sharon.
Sharon Bernstein.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. And I had all the information that was. in there.
Oh, so it's all-
That's-
okay,
that's
too
the
bad.
stuff that- stuff that they did.
And when do you take books up until? Are you still, you just
I
take
don't
them
know, Michelle and Christine.
That, it's, the people that run it, it's their choice. We were taking them that way.
Oh,
Because
okay.
people
Yes, we got all
showed
of
up and
those.
said, oh,
Oh,
it's a
here's
book
some
sale.
books.
And they just.
They went
stopped and bought
One
it.
of the, we got all of the boxes and boxes of all the books that were like the same publisher. They were like some of the classics. He had been told to wait. That's what he told me. Was that, and so I think he brought them like that day.
Well, personally, for me, they're down here, you put them in a corner and you start pulling stuff out and filling the box.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's like, you want to drag them back upstairs?
Yeah,
That's
good.
They're in front of you, you just sell
So I think we take everything separate. Until.
them.
What, eight boxes
You're
of
on
books?
your- I mean, you can try to say 2 weeks before, but.
Probably more than that. Yeah, we have diabetic, there's just so many.
Oh, yeah.
You should see how they got here.
Oh, in the car.
She had them just thrown in her trunk.
Oh.
Her trunk was filled to the top with books, but no boxes.
But last year, it was young women that were, whenever you looked over at the tent with the cookbooks on, there were a lot of young women that were looking through and going off with 3 or 4 copies. So-
You ever look at my stuff? Why am I looking through these?
Sure.
Okay. Jane, do we have anything on grants?
Well.
I feel like doing some quick research. Well, we did get the Adirondack Foundation grant, just to that, anyway, that one's into my head. And, but you know, what's so interesting, when I look at it, like the grants I've been involved with, Adirondack Foundation, Charles R. Wood, Stewart's a little bit, Price Chopper and Gullah, not Nationals, I said Gullah. But anyway, the new grant, is in Ticonderoga, Silvamo, dollar store. So most of these grants are all geared towards education that brings children education, all about literacy. Literacy is reading and writing, so that's a good thing to know about writing, because there's maybe something that if you have an author, maybe they do a writing workshop for kids or for teens or something like that, that's a really tie into the funds. But then I looked at Price Chopper is last time we got funding for Meet the Author, the summer series, and that's due in February. Then the Dollar General, which I hadn't written that at all, that's also due around February, and they support a tech that supports literacy. So I wonder if you could, it could be, it's something what you could do is maybe try and like say that you're, like on a budget, say it's, the whole grant is to support Meet the Author series with an opportunity to show work on a projector. Screen, and then you can, so the grant, so in the budget, you say Price Chopper will be asked for this, that's covering the speaker's fees, and then you're saying to the budget, Dollar General is gonna cover the tech to support the.
So like you have to, like those kinds of turns can be really good because the funders also like it that Dollar General, I don't know if you've written to them before, but we have gotten money from the Price Chopper. So they like it when they see like, okay, it was confirmed, like, you got it 2 years ago. Okay, that's good. The other thing is Sobama, the new one that's up in Ticonderoga. We do need to get that in before September 30th. And that one is only concerns childhood education again. So like we have all, like, it's tricky because we have all these, there's all the funders want kids, it's a safety thing, right? Like safety tickets. And when I look at art funding, like for speakers and things like that, the library is a library, it's not an arts organization, unless you partner with an arts organization, a local one. And then I don't know, you go in on them with a grant, they're the lead person on the grant, and they say like, as part of, I don't know, it's too much to try to explain, but there's a way to create a collaboration where that other person who is an arts organization, they're the lead on the grant, and then included in that project description or that budget, there's a little bit for Homeland, like whatever, 2000, whatever, to do some aspect of that connects with their overarching grant. It sounds more complicated than it is. It's not that. But I'm just trying to look at like what we have and what we can do. But if I haven't written the Cloud Spitters grant, so if maybe Sarah's going to go for that for the project on screen, but there is this other opportunity for technology. I don't know. That one I don't know. I don't know.
That was a resolve, yeah, because we got.
What happens if can you write 2 different grants for the same thing?
Yeah.
So that if you don't get one, then the other one does.
Yeah, the thing is about this is like I look at the Price Chopper, I have to look at the budget that we did, but it's just that the Dollar General says technology specifically support literacy. So, so you can't see when I read that, when someone says technology, that means they're not going to get money for speaker fees, right? Yeah, we just want to support technology. I have to read it over more carefully, but that's what I got out of it. And then maybe to remind Sarah that the Pomeroy thing for the marker is coming up in August.
She knows all. She does.
Yeah.
She's gonna be back to work later.
Okay, don't forget.
She better be.
Yeah. But yeah, so the speaker series, last thing to say, the speaker series, maybe there's something in that could, I don't know, we gotta find other funds to help open that up a little bit, maybe. But maybe there's other ways. All I want to say is you've got something going on that's going well. What else can you do to augment it so that you're more willing to do great things?
Oh, we trust you guys to do all the right stuff. That's great.
Yeah, well, it's also, that's a big one too. So maybe do a small thing first, check it. Yeah.
Okay, so Personnel Committee, we do have to do a mid-year review with Megan, and then Megan does one also, Sarah, when she comes back. So I'll get in touch with Will and see what his availability is, and Megan, and then we'll be in touch with you. Okay. Sunshine Committee, does anyone know of anybody that needs thank you?
I sent a sympathy card to Sue Bell on the 18th because we want to pass away last Tuesday. And then I sent a get well card to Sarah.
Oh,
I just wrote that down to say.
Thank you.
Sarah is home. She, her surgery went a lot longer than it was supposed to. But everything was fine. And I think she came home Friday or Saturday. To get a picture of her after they have doped her up. But she sent me a text saying that she was home and she was doing great.
Good to hear. All right, farmers market. The first date of that is June 21st. So I would like everybody to look at their calendars and everybody who could come on the first day and learn how to help and learn how to set up, right? So we were to all meet here, do you think at 7:45? And we'll 7:30, 7:30, anybody who
Well,
can.
depends on what.
Yes.
I'll be in California.
Yes, okay. But well, if we could get that sign up sheet and then pass it around for farmers market.
That-
then-
Now?
Yeah,
Okay.
if we could just, I want to pin people down. Because I don't think we have another, our next meeting is after that, so I kind of,
So they need to. June 21st, right?
yes.
Get to them. So,
And then I guess we'll get to, anybody who can, we'll get together and sort of put everything together and decide what we're gonna do. And then,
You
I
asked
don't-
about the coloring books.
What?
Didn't you ask about the coloring books for?
Oh. I haven't talked to her. Was
Okay.
I supposed to get in touch with
No.
her?
No, I told you,
Not tonight.
the team, I told you she had
we'll
some.
have the bags, we'll have the magnets, and we'll have some raffles from the fiber arts group. And,
The Anne Marie Sinise came in and talked to me last week.
okay,
I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I think it might be, the theme, I think the theme is gonna be like outdoor dining. So part of what she's giving is the wagon. So that somebody can just pull that over to the farmer's market.
okay,
Um,
okay.
I thought that that actually might be easier than having to carry all those big things.
We'll see. And then whatever she does will be great.
Before I pass this around, Sarah, I don't know if Sarah won't be back by the time of the first farmer's market, so I won't be able to go over in the afternoon.
Okay.
You're gonna need somebody for that, but I also wanted to see, is that your intention, though, is for the rest of them, for Sarah and I to take turns doing it, or do it like we did last summer?
How did you do it last month?
One of us was there for the afternoon.
And one stayed here and one went there. I don't see any problem with that. I mean, unless we can't, I mean, if we can find volunteers, then we don't have to,
Right.
right? So, hopefully we'll find enough friends that you guys can continue with your business here, so you
Okay.
do it needs to be done
I-
here. But,
Michelle and I have talked about that a lot, and
okay.
Sarah didn't like it as much as I did.
Mhm.
I really liked getting to talk to people just outside the library and, you know, just talk to, especially the kids.
Mhm.
That, I mean, they're so excited about that book until I found out one mother came over and says, he already has 4 of those. But, I kind of like the idea of one of us being there in the afternoon. And it does, Sarah doesn't mind coming in and being here.
Mhm.
She actually would prefer that I do the farmer's market. The weather sometimes is pretty,
Okay, great. So if you guys could look at your schedules and sign up for what you can, it'd be great.
But you all, you want to follow it.
Anybody who can.
I don't. Oh,
They
it's
meet
here.
here at the
This is
library.
where we sign up?
you
Right,
know,
because we have to pick everything. up.
Yes, yeah,
Just look at
because
that.
we, I want everybody to learn what all needs to be.
Where
So that, you know, hopefully, if they sign up for different days, then they know what to bring.
yeah.
You know, we'll have only those people.
I work on
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
I have a motion to approve the committee reports.
Oh, you already have it.
I didn't hear where it came from.
I said I'll make the motion, but then I thought maybe you said.
So Terry made the motion and Lynn seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, so moved. Okay, unfinished business, we can skip the round. The Sal's dinner was very nice. It was very close down in Fort William, Henry. And 4 of us attended, Dina, myself, Michelle, and Megan. And anything that you'd like to mention about that dinner?
Yes, I have one too.
Yes, yes.
Elaine Cohen, who sat with us, she's on the board of the Sal's Board of Trustees, and she said, I don't know why we're giving out fidget spinners.
I wanted to take some for.
So they always have like a little gift on the table for everybody. And last year was those really nice metal bookmarks that slide on the book, on the page. And this year was fidget spinners, and she said, I have no idea why that was. I thought it was nice to sit with, we were with our group plus someone from the South Board. And then there was 2 people from the Warrensburg Library. So you really gotta, you know, plus I know a lot of the directors, so especially because I was sitting next to Lance, that's the librarian from, that's the one from Archive. That was kind of nice to know.
There was a presentation from 2 women who have put together a program on the Holocaust survivors. What was the name of
It's
it?
called the Memory Project. I'll just pass these around, but they have 6 different panels that talk about individuals and their stories. And there's a QR code on the back of each one of them. You can actually see like a 4-minute movie. But they are traveling around,
Sounds-
looking for places to possibly do this.
Do you think we would be interested in working in it?
Yes, weren't that big. I mean, I think
They were the biggest ones. They come in
they become smaller sizes,
They
you're
come in
right,
different sizes depending on where it
It was a very moving display though, but it was very well done.
And the movies were very moving. That's just-
They said, I had an email today from, can't remember which person it South was. I think it was Pamela. They are licensing that, so they're going to have it for another year. The license on it will run out in 25, and they're making that display available to any of the libraries that want it. So I've already responded and said we would take it.
Oh, great. Perfect.
Is it like a one you have it for,
It comes on scan, so it's
but you'd have it for like
a certain period.
certain period?
Yeah.
We would probably want to plan an event around when it comes, right? Like some kind of.
No, that, the second one. The other thing that I liked that was from there, which I never even wanted as far as programming too, is that they had, the board, I think it was 4 libraries collaborated on one project together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was a cool idea, just to, maybe not in the summer, because I think everyone's busy, but maybe winter and fall, when things quiet down a little bit, maybe. See if there was something we could collaborate on.
Maybe with the Warrensburg Library or something like that.
Mhm.
So,
I don't know if they get a lot of interest and stuff too, but.
okay, anybody else want to add anything about the dinner? Megan?
My food was good, but I think some people didn't like it. I said, I like my dinner, but I think some people didn't like it.
That's very much.
Yeah, it looked horrible. Yeah.
Commemorative Foundation, we talked about, trustee training requirements, everybody knows they need to get their 2 hours in.
And we're still able to do the talking ones, like that would be able to have to get. Fill out the form, right? You can still
Yes,
do
yes.
that? Okay, I just wanted
And
to
just
just
listen to them anytime. Sexual harassment training, everybody should have that and sent their certificate to Megan. And we have a couple things on new business. First of all, the summer hours. What we go from a 40-hour week, what we are currently, to a 50-hour week. I'll pass this around so everyone can look at it. We do open, a full day on Monday late and a little later on some of the other dates. Everybody just take a quick look because we'll need to vote on changing the hours. Do we normally change at the beginning of July or June?
Usually like the end of June, the beginning of July.
Last year, we changed it on July 3rd.
Yes, it says for July 3rd.
Yeah,
From last year.
because, 4th of July is on Thursday, so would you start on July 8th? Or would you start on July 1st?
I would think if people were coming up for the week, they would do earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, I think
I would think, I don't know.
I would go. And everybody, that's in agreement with that.
Yeah, let's figure out, start and finish.
July 1st to, and then the Labor Day is.
September 2nd.
September 2nd?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. September 11th, sorry.
Second. So, would you make it the end of that week? Just, end it this-
Well, Labor Day would be closed, right?
We'd be closed on it.
Yeah. The reason we can't start in June.
So, and so this goes back to the school tax funding and all, I want to pump up our, our spending in order to justify when we do go for tax, that we need X amount of dollars, we have this amount to spend for our personnel, for our salaries.
I mean, there are a lot of people in town up there.
There are a lot of people, and I gotta say, when we had our meeting on Monday, and
Yeah, there was a couple people
there were a couple of people at the door, found them, and, oh, I didn't realize you weren't closed, and I need the book, and one lady had like this, and so we threw them in, and I gave out 3 honor books. And you want your hand up, you told them. I said, here, you want a book here? And then, but, there seems to be a need, people, luckily closed on Sunday, so I'm very glad to see we're opening on Monday.
I think that you have to keep in mind that Sarah's not available and probably won't be at the beginning of June.
Would be a
Are we
consideration.
going right through on trivia night, or could we consider maybe suspending trivia night for the summer and?
That gets like a big tournament,
How many?
20, 30 people.
Real?
I have people who come up and they
Yeah,
go into.
Yeah, that should be a little bit.
but I think that if you wanted to consider starting the summer hours earlier, just say maybe the middle of June, Sarah should be back by then.
Yes, that's a good compromise.
That's a good compliment, yeah.
That's a good
And she
compromise.
comes back earlier, maybe?
Do you have your calendar in front of you? Is there somewhere right around June 15th? That would be
The
good. That's
17th is the first,
Monday.
right, it's the 17th or the 24th. Now, these are things you think about, this was not budgeted for,
Right.
so.
Right. But, we're short 33.
That's what we're gonna make it on.
Yes.
And the book sale. And the book sale, yes.
How much would it cost to actually do something?
10
But
hours.
we got another issue to stare at. We got the 17th, the 24th, and July.
Let's do the 24th.
When does school go out?
Just about that.
Yeah. And that's always kind of been the thing,
So we're saying through September 1st?
well, 6/24 to.
No, it would be in August, right? Yeah, last Monday in August.
No, you
Labor Day is the second, so. Give it another week. Megan, you've got a handle on people, who comes in.
I've always said that you should go to the end, the following week.
Right.
In the past couple of years, that was changed by the board.
So it went through the 8th.
September. So could I have a motion to change the hours of the library to summer hours from June 24th to September 8th? Right, have a motion made by Jane and seconded by Mary. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? So moved. Thank you. Okay. We talked about the sign-up sheets for the events. One of the things, we had a request that rather than putting the open, or we'd like to have a discussion about, rather than putting the open flag out front, if we were to put an American flag out there. And having the flag out there would signify that the library is open. But since we don't have the pole anymore, we would like to show an American flag in some way. So how do people feel
Do
about
we
it?
have our American flag still? Megan?
I don't have one.
We don't have it.
Oh, we don't have one.
There was a flag here, but it was Carlos. And I think at some point she took it home.
Okay.
If I would buy, so I was just down in Home Depot the other day and they have mounted flags on poles similar to what the open flag is, that we could just shove into the
I
same.
don't know why the flag is supposed to show that we're open.
Flag is out, we're open. The American flag is out, we're open. When we close,
Are we-
we bring it in.
This just seems like a weird thing to, why would you do that instead of having,
Why wouldn't you fly an American flag?
No, she's
we have a pole and if
It's
the tree,
not set up. Yeah, it's not, we can't hang it right now.
Can we use that pole? Can it be used or is it broken?
it's not broken.
We
It
don't
just-
have, we don't have this, the
rigging.
board and.
The rigging is broken.
It needs to be fixed, yeah.
I see, I have no problem with flying the flag, but the whole point of the open flag was to show we're open. I don't want people to, I don't know.
If I saw. No, you wouldn't say it's right. No, I would think you could do the same.
The post office has a flag on the school. They take them down at night when they're not. Unless they're let you take an American flag down.
Right.
I don't know that, that's all those
A lot of people don't put that.
I knew that the firehouse, they left up after my nephew died, the flag was left at half mast. Much, after the hour, we start and,
Yes.
We think about adding a flag to our open flag? I mean, would anybody want, I don't know where we put. Because the other side, you can't put it on the other side because the address is there, the number. So
So we can't use the actual flagpole that's out there now, it's just there.
it needs to be fixed. It's not broken, actually, the rope is undone, so you have to have somebody come and straighten that out. But also the problem with
the tree.
the tree.
I would find it better.
I don't think that would be huge, moving that pole.
Oh, a pole, yeah.
It's a dark.
Camera, right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, probably easier just to trim that one dead branch of the tree off.
That was the only reason that we stopped putting the flag up.
But it's more, you have a great lawn for events, and it was really nice to be able to use all of that, because we worked that whole book sale around the tree, trips over everything that's kind of out there. So if there was a place where it could be displayed and treated with respect as opposed to kind of.
I like how quickly we're moving to like.
Okay, we're gonna take the whole thing down. Yes.
Mostly my instructions for these.
And I put it in extent of- Done in my minutes.
The flag.
Right. So, but I mean,
So,
I
and it's
don't
lasting for 50 years.
think we probably.
Next year, we will just paint it. Right. You know,
I try to think 50 years.
All right, so I get the sense from the group that we want to keep the open flag, but I think we could still visit the idea of having an American flag if we can figure out a way to incorporate it in to the motif that we heard, without major construction. I mean, I have no idea what it would be to take that pole down and move it. But,
So we'll leave that to Buildings and Grounds Committee then, to make that decision on how we can fix the flagpole.
yeah,
Is that fair?
yeah.
I think we should talk to the fire. They got ladders. Somebody could go up there and figure out how to do the rigging.
So that's a very good
And
idea.
then put a light on, so you don't have to go take it down. And it's LED lights.
Yeah, they put them around the top.
Yeah.
Poles out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Next sheet. All right, so communications, do we have anything, Megan?
do. I just wanted to give you an update on the Schenectady County Public Library leaving the system. There are minutes, they were draft minutes, so they haven't actually been approved. There was a meeting, on May 8th, and they're calling for us to stop sending books to the Schenectady County Library plus the branch libraries as of May 1st. Because they want to make sure that everything that we loan out to those branch libraries gets back to us before the delivery is cut off. And they haven't yet given us an end date as to when that's going to happen. So in the meantime, Sarah and I have stopped sending like books to those branch libraries, and that would be the Orange branch. I think that might be near Scotia. The Glenville, Mount Pleasant, Niskayuna, Quaker Street, Rotterdam, Scotia, and Woodlawn are the libraries that are branch libraries of the Schenectady Public Library. There's that. Then I did get an email from Warren County. It would be Ashley Rivers, the Warren County Office of Emergency Services, and they would like us to become a cooling center. And they have there's an application that we have to fill out. They have some things that are critical criteria that we have to have in order to be a cooling center. Then there are suggested criteria. And they said we don't have to meet any of those if we don't have them. If one of them is to be available 24/7, one is a large capacity, those are things that we can't cover. Television,
What are the requirements? Required things that they expect to do.
so the required things are air conditioning, available drinking water, public restrooms continuously maintained and accessible to disabled, seating for 10 or more, able to have external communications, phones and computers,
That's fine.
American with Disabilities Act compliant, and continuous staffing, 1 to 2 people per. So I was assuming you guys would want me to say yes. I just haven't done it. I was waiting.
Who's the,
This was Ashley Rivers of the Warren County Office of Emergency Services.
So you're talking about being a cooling center during our regular hours, not adding hours, correct?
Right.
Okay.
is that right? I mean, we probably should clarify that, right?
Hang on.
Does it say only during the regular hours? Yeah, I see.
Oh, it said not 24 hours, right?
So
Not
one of the suggested criteria that one was 24/7 capability, large capacity, transportation for those lacking their own. Those are things that I just don't see us doing. But you would put down what your hours are.
right.
So
Okay.
Let me just find out from the insurance company, but,
okay,
if there's any, something that they would be concerned about, just ask. It's the same way with the warm inspector, so they're asking for the warm inspector.
I'm guessing probably in
We will
a
get
few weeks or a few months, you're gonna ask us about it.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we're covered legally. I don't. I think that might be it.
List of events. We have to do on there, I feel like we're missing something. Yeah, okay, because we do. Okay, we are missing a couple, we'll just have to make sure and update our upcoming events list with, because I see that author Ginger Cleasel, the Buzz on Lake George is in June. So that needs to be on there.
Yep.
Okay. Any other items that anybody would like to add, talk about, bring up?
Do we have a sign up list for the book sale? Yeah.
Yeah,
we made it. Okay.
The additional. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Would anybody like to make a motion to end the meeting? We'll make a motion and then second. And it is now.
I'm sorry, what were the dates?
8.
It's like that last week. 26.
8.
Gonna start on the 25th.
7:42.
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would love. Then Friday, everything said it's just city.
Yeah, right.
That would be done.
Yeah, we done
And then Sunday, Kate and I really wanted to get this to come in the same time.
William.
That's so much fun. So we're in the process of packing and, yeah.